Just before we head into the video, I'd love to give a shout out to the sponsor of the channel, RL Exchange. Now, RL Exchange is the best way to buy any Rocket League items or credits on any platform and at the cheapest prices so that you can build your dream setup. Make sure to go and check out their website using the top link in the description and use code TXE to get yourself 3% off your order. In this series, I'm trading from nothing all the way up to the alpha cap and trying to beat my previous time of 142 days. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you are enjoying the series so far. I'm also giving away a White Octane whenever the channel hits 26k subs, so make sure to join my Discord server and subscribe if you would like to be entered into that giveaway. But let's get straight into the first trade of the video. In the last episode, I made a ton of profit and I currently have quite a few credits and also some really high demand items to work with. And I am selling on my purple octane and 450 credits in the first trade for a purple interstellar, which is valued at 1.1k. So I am underpaying by around 250 credits, but I will need to work for that profit because this interstellar is not easy to sell whatsoever. It has a very low demand, not many people are looking for it, so it probably will take me a couple of hours to actually get that item sold. But in the end, if I am making 250 credits profit, that is a ton of profit, especially when my inventory is quite fresh. I don't have a lot going on. I also managed to get rid of my Dueling Dragons for 500 credits, and I initially bought it for just 400, so that is another 100 credits profit. And yeah, the inventory is looking very solid. Again, we have quite a lot of credits to work with, and credits are so useful throughout the Nothing to Something. Is not just at the start. Loads of people are looking for credits, and they will overpay because credits are so fundamental to trading. I managed to buy a Sky Blue Standard 100 credits below the minimum value, but as I was saying, you need credits, and whenever I am trying to sell my item, I'm always looking for credits rather than items. I will take an item overpay, but ideally I will just be taking credits because loads of people are looking for them and I can get some insane deals. Again, underpaying here for a Cobalt Draco, 100 credits below the minimum value. That should be a pretty easy flip for the minimum value, and currently if I sell all of the items in my inventory for even the minimum value in credits, I'll be getting like 450 credits profit, which is genuinely mad. I am able to sell on my Sky Blue Standard, again, relatively easily because it is a very high demand item. Loads of people are looking for it, and that is why I target those items because it saves me so much time. Here, I'm also picking up a lot of items. They're not very high demand. There is a Forest Green Standard in there, which technically should be quite easy to sell, but the black markets, cheap black markets, do not sell whatsoever, basically. So I was taking a little bit of a risk here, but the Shattered alone is worth 200 and the Forest Green Standard is worth 300. Those together are 500 credits. The rest of the black markets are 150 each, so altogether that adds up to 950 credits. So I am underpaying by a lot, but now it will take me a long time to get those black markets sold. So when trading, you've sort of got to balance your time with the amount of profit you're making. So for example, the Cobalt Draco didn't take me long to sell, but I'm only getting 100 credits profit, whereas the purple Interstellar, that will take me a long time to sell, but I'm getting over double than what I was getting from that Cobalt Draco. I'll be making 250 credits profit. So there are some trades where I am sacrificing a little bit more of my time, but I'm making more profit. This is not one of them because Cobalt Fennec is very easy to sell, and I'm only underpaying by 100 credits. And I know when I say I'm only underpaying by 100 credits, that is still quite a lot, don't get me wrong, but when I am getting trades where I'm underpaying like 250, 300 credits, it's definitely considered a lot less. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm also selling my Cobalt Fennec here for a massive overpay. You would think of a Blackstone, however this item, oh my god, it is so hard to sell. It's valued at 800 credits and the Cobalt Fennec is only 450, so that is 350 credit overpay. However, it's going to take me literal hours to get that Blackstone sold, and there's no telling that I'll actually be able to find the minimum value. So again, a little bit of a risk, but I did overpay, or I did underpay rather, by 350 credits. So we should be in the clear there, and I am also picking up or selling on my days. It's so hard to speak. I am selling on my Shattered there for 200 credits. Only the minimum value. I'm not looking for anything more than that right now. It's hard to sell cheap black markets as it is. I don't need to make it harder for myself. At this point, I was just trying to clear out the inventory because I've got quite a few items, which isn't ideal. I want to have mostly credits and maybe 1 or 2 items at the moment. I don't want my inventory to get too out of hand, but I did also manage to sell on another cheap black market. It took me around an hour, I'm not gonna lie. But I also managed to go on to sell my purple Interstellar. This took me hours, but it is finally out of my inventory for 1.1k. So I made a really good amount of profit. It did take a while, but in the end, it was definitely worth it. So I'm gonna trade with painted Interstellars again going forward because they're so good for making profit. A lot of people don't like trading with them, and I feel like this is something I do that's unique because I love trading with painted Interstellars. It's actually usually easier to sell than it was to sell that purple Interstellar. So hopefully in the future I'll be able to sell them a little bit quicker, but it's still a really good amount of profit. I managed to sell on my biomass here for 150 credits. Again, the minimum value. I don't need to make it harder for myself by searching for middle or max price. But now I'm happy to go back to buying items because I've cleared out my inventory quite well. I only have a few items to deal with and a lot of credits, so I can underpay for even more items. And this trade was ideal because I'm buying 2 high demand items for 100 credits below each of their minimum values. I should be able to go on to sell that pink octane for hopefully the middle value. I'm actually going to search for the middle value for that item. I know I did say earlier with my cheap black markets that selling them for the middle value would just be a waste of time. It would take me way too long, but octanes is one of the most highly demanded items in the game, so I think I can actually find the middle value for that item. Purple Zomba I should be able to sell for the minimum value pretty easily as well. I'm also buying a Crimson Draco, 100 credits below the minimum value. I'd say that's also considered quite high demand. It's not really as easy to sell as Zombas, but Dracos are still up there. Quite a few people are looking for them, so hopefully I should get lucky with that item as well. And as I mentioned, just selling that purple Zomba on for the minimum value. I'm not going to make it harder for myself on every item. Yes, sometimes I might try and find the middle value for a certain item, but as you can see, I've still got that pink octane, so it's not quite working. Sometimes I'll be able to get an extra 50 credits really quickly. Sometimes it will take a bit longer, and I've always got to experiment to see if I can actually sell my items for a little bit more than usual. That will also tell me if the market is recovering slightly. If I can sell an octane for the middle value one day and struggle like next week or something, then I know the market's gone down a little bit. But it's always fun to sort of trade and experiment and see what the market is currently doing. And I also managed to get rid of my Blackstone here for a little bit of an item overpay. But as I mentioned earlier, this item is so difficult to sell. So I managed to get a Chameleon, which is 200, a Fennec, which is 350, and a Fire God, which is 300 credits. So that adds up to 850. And it also will take me a little bit of time to actually get those items sold. But it would have taken me way longer to get that Blackstone sold. So that is definitely a W trade. And I also managed to get rid of 2 items here, so saving myself a little bit of time. And unfortunately I wasn't able to quite find that middle value for the pink octane, but either way I'm still getting an extra 20 credits than I would have done in that trade. And as I mentioned, I'm selling 2 items in the same trade. So overall, that should save me quite a bit of time. But now we have a very solid inventory going into episode 3. And that is going to wrap it up for this episode. I really hope you have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. We're going to be going for 100 likes on this video. Comment Alpha Cap if you made it this far. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Me